My favorite quote is from Albert Einstein, and he said, no matter how long you live, never get old. And there are a number of areas in China that actually are following his idea, and that's what we're going to talk about. So because of my career, I've been able to travel quite a bit in China. I've been pretty much in every major region, from little tiny villages like the Chen village to Shanghai and Beijing and big glittering cities. And everywhere I've gone, I've noticed there are older people that are living pretty active lives. I mean, into their 90s and beyond. I think the epitome is the longevity village. It's a little village. It's located 5 hours out of nowhere in the Guangxi province. And it's named the Longevity Village. Guess why? There's more 100-year-olds living in that little town than anywhere else in the world. 5 times more centenarians than anywhere else. And these people are not just old, they're active. There are 108-year-olds that have never been sick a day in their life. One fella is 113 years old, and he's still working every day. Gets up in the morning, he puts on his ethnic clothing, and he goes out and greets tourists as they come into town. He's like the town greeter, if you will. So I think what I want to do is give you some comparisons so you can see what I'm talking about. In the United States, the average age, the average longevity, what do you think it is? How long do you think people live on average?
60 to 85. 85.
78. The average age is 78 years old. The average male lives to 76, and the average female in America lives to 81. Now, obviously, a lot of people live older than that, but those are the averages. In Hong Kong, the average male lives to 81, and the average female lives to 87, significantly longer. As a matter of fact, in the 10 top cities in China, I'm talking about Shanghai, Beijing, Guangzhou, the bigger cities, the average age is between 82 and 83 years old, compared to 78 years old here in the United States. So people are living longer. As a matter of fact, you might wonder, well, how long could you live? You know, what's the maximum? Scientists seem to think that 120 is the maximum. They currently believe that the human body, if everything's perfect, could theoretically live to 120. And there have been people that have lived to 120. The oldest person is 123. So that's kind of the maximum. But we're barely making it to 80. So how do we get those extra 40 years? Or at least a big chunk of them? Now, what's the secret? A lot of people told me, well, it's kind of your destiny, it's your genes. You know, if your parents lived really a long time, or your grandparents, you've got it in your genes and you can live a long time. If they haven't, then maybe you're not. That's not really true. That's not the answer. Genes are important. They count to 20 to 30% of your ability to live a long life. But there's 70 to 80% that you're in control of. There are things you can do, little changes you can make to your life that can add significant years, healthy years, to your life. And that's what we're going to talk about.